All right, good morning / afternoon, everyone. In today's webinar, we are going to just talk about a couple of Esri solutions for managing your winter weather operations. So on the left-hand side here, we have the winter weather operations solution, which is designed for managing your fleet of vehicles, your personnel, tracking material use, analyzing winter snow event metrics, in addition to the automation of road status updates. On the right-hand side here, we have the winter weather outreach solution, which was designed to work in conjunction with the winter weather operations solution by communicating road status and route priorities to the public and offering the public a way to report snow issues like a hit mailbox or a missed road. Now, the winter weather operations solution uses ArcGIS Velocity to manage route status and current vehicle locations. ArcGIS Velocity is a newer add-on capability for ArcGIS Online that allows users to consume data from IoT platforms. It can also perform fast queries and analysis on big data. So now, if you're familiar with ArcGIS Enterprise platform, you can think of this as sort of a combination of GeoEvent server and the GeoAnalytics server in an environment that you don't have to manage. So currently, the winter weather operations solution requires Velocity advanced licensing due to the heavy big data analytic load. Now, the yearly price tag for a Velocity Advanced license is currently $45,000 a year. So Esri does have plans to release additional solutions that could make use of your Velocity licensing in the off season with operations like trash pickup and street sweeping. So the Velocity Advanced license is required to even download the winter weather operations solution. So I won't be able to demonstrate the solution, but we will walk through some of its features. The winter weather outreach solution, however, can be used on its own for smaller operations, and it deploys with a road status manager. All the components of the winter weather outreach solution do require manual input. So we'll see a quick demo of that solution after the winter weather outreach solution overview. So this is what the winter weather operations solution looks like. It uses ArcGIS Experience Builder as the landing spot for all relevant applications. We'll take a look at each of the menu options to get a feel for what this solution can do. So first, let's take a look at vehicles. So up top, you can get a quick overview of your total number of vehicles, vehicles in service, fleet vehicles versus contractor vehicles. You can see your vehicles in both table and list format. The solution deploys with an Excel spreadsheet that will allow you to batch load your existing vehicles into the solution, or you can add new vehicles through the solution interface up there in the left-hand corner with the Add New Vehicle button. So when you click Add New Vehicle, you're going to fill out this form. So some information is required as it interacts with other parts of the solution, and some information is used more for situational awareness. So that first field, the vehicle ID field, will be filled out with the vehicle ID used by your AVL system. Or if you're using ArcGIS location tracking, you're going to define the unique ID of your choice. And that's going to be used as project user input when configuring the status reporter quick capture project. Over on the right-hand side, for the automated vehicle location reporting field, you're going to define whether the vehicle is AVL only, so that means that it has location tracking capability and snow operation related telemetry like plow up, plow down, or salter on, salter off. Or ArcGIS only vehicles, which are using location tracking. And those are going to require a driver be equipped with a device that can access the status reporter quick capture project. And last, you have the AVL location with ArcGIS field operations, which vehicles which have AVL location tracking, but no sensor data. And they are going to need to report their plow status and material usage through the quick capture and configurable apps. So one last important required field is at the bottom is the solid material capacity field, and that can be used to calculate how many tons of materials have been used whenever a driver reports this information after each round trip for more materials, or if you have a yard supervisor when they report materials on behalf of the driver using the material reporter configurable app. So you're going to define the full load carrying capacity in tons for each vehicle. So when using the material use reporter, you're going to pick your vehicle from the list. This list is connected to your vehicle list, so you're going to always have the most up-to-date information there on your vehicles. You can report a single load per trip, or you can wait until the end of the event and choose multiple loads. So next, let's look at the events tab. So events define active periods of operational activity during a snow or ice event. So at the beginning of a winter weather event, you're going to come in here and you're going to click new event up at the top left. You're going to fill out a start date, the event name, and winter precipitation type. There's a notebook that comes with the solution that will look for new events created and kick off commands that's going to start all the vehicle feeds and analytics in ArcGIS Velocity. When an event is finished, you're going to come back here and enter the end date for the event and fill out the duration and snowfall totals. That previously mentioned notebook will run again and stop all feeds and analytics, as well as trigger a process to reset the route status so that maps and apps reflect the current state of no operational activity. You also have, some metrics up here like number of events, total snowfall, and a graph showing snowfall totals by event. So now we'll take a look at current activity. This is listed under monitor operations. It's using operations dashboard, and it gives us active vehicles on the left where we can get a quick overview of speed and status along with how long ago that information was reported. We get the main map in the middle with current location and route status, which is made possible through Velocity Big Data Analytics. Velocity takes the vehicle activity and snaps it to the snow routes. So from there, you get an enriched road network with a timestamp of when the vehicle last traveled through a given area while it was in service. So if a vehicle is reporting plow up or no salt, the analytic is going to go ahead and ignore the location and the routes will not show that it's been serviced. And lastly, under the monitor operations tab up there, we have the season dashboard. So this is just a simple overview of requests and request types, number of winter weather events, total distance traveled, and tons of materials used. So that is just basically a snapshot of the winter weather operations solution. So now let's just take a look at the winter weather outreach solution, which you can deploy. Just taking a look at what comes with this solution. So this obviously comes with feature classes and maps, but these are the applications that it comes with. So we have a main public hub site here. And then as part of the hub site, we have two instant apps that show route status and then your snow route priorities and your parking restrictions. Also available on this hub site is a snow request survey 123 form. And then you have a snow request manager that will manage those requests. And then over here by itself is that route status manager that we mentioned earlier. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to actually take a look at the solution here. So let's start with the route status manager. So this is what it looks like. We have some filters here. We have a batch editor. So this is nice as it lets us update multiple roads instead of having to do it one at a time. So if we go ahead and we have different ways that we can filter things. So if I want to go ahead and update my roads by district, I can do that. So I could choose District 12B. It's going to go ahead and bring in that district. I can just go ahead and select those. I could choose serviced and then add a date. If I wanted to instead go by route priority. Maybe I want to, maybe all of my priority 1 snow routes have been done and I want to go ahead and update those. I can click that. Again, I can use my tool. I can go over here and select those routes and put in an existing value. Or I could do snow route. So this is something that I've manually added into the feature layer. So I could say, all right, route number 6 is done. Oh, we do have to bring that back to empty. There we go. So I can zoom out. I'm going to go ahead and actually do this one. I'm going to say that it has been serviced. I'm going to put in a new date. We'll hit save. We can also go ahead and update ones that we've already serviced with a new date. Now, if I go ahead and bring those back, you can see it updated my value. And down here we have a variety of filters by a variety of different times. Again, all of this you can choose. If this is too many different times, you can remove some of them. If we turn that on, we'll just see what's been done in the last 10 minutes. We don't have anything done there. The last 30 minutes, it's going to bring that over. In addition, we have roadway not serviced, roadway serviced, and we can see the percent of the roads that have been serviced. So just a nice tool. Again, it has to be done manual. Your crew will report when they've done things, and you have a variety of different ways to update your status and a variety of filters to look at that. Now we can take a look at the hub site that we have. Let's go ahead and refresh this. So we have some information that's floating across the screen up here. Again, this is stuff that you would go ahead and you would manually change this information based on the event. Snowfall in inches, these are things that you would come in and update as your events occur. We can view our road status. So this is that configurable app that I mentioned that comes in here and just lets the public see exactly what's been done. The legend, it's simple. They could type in their address. They could launch that app. It will just make it bigger, open in a new window. We can go down here and review snow plan. So we don't actually have a snow plan here, but if you linked to this, if you had a snow plan that you wanted the public to be able to see, you could go ahead and do that. Again, this is a hub site, so you can add, change the pictures, do whatever you want in here. We have a snow routes and restrictions. So if we open that up, here is that second configurable app that comes with that, where we took our data and we just imported it into the feature layer that came with the solution. And we can see we got our legend up here. We can go ahead and let's just turn off the snow routes. We can see our parking restrictions. We can click on that. And from what we've filled out, we can see that we've got, it's North Water Street from East Center and East Damon Avenue on the east side of the road. And this parking restriction goes into effect over 2 inches of snowfall. We can do the same thing. We can turn that back on. We can see if we click on one of our roads that this section is a priority 1 snow route. So all good information for the public. Can head back here. We can go ahead and request a service. If we click that, it's going to open us up to our snow and ice request for the public. So here we'll just go ahead and fill that out. So we can say we've got mailbox damage. Let me throw in an address. It's going to zoom me in. We've got our latitude and longitude. We can put in some test details. Can add a photo. So I've got my damaged mailbox here, proving that it was hit. I'm going to include my contact information. Not my real phone number. So don't try to call me, guys. And we'll put an email. And submit. And now that we've submitted our request, we can head over to one of the other applications that come with this. This just refreshed in here. So I've got all of my requests that I can manage. I can see them in the map. I've got some that have been submitted, in progress, received. Here's our mailbox. Damage, I can click on it, zooms me in. I can see some information here. It's been submitted. I have details. I can check the photo out. There's that mailbox. It sure was hit. I can go ahead and edit this. I can change it to in progress. Working on it. Some notes. I could assign it to Dave Smith and save. And again, we can just keep moving this through the process. We could go ahead and say that it's been completed, where we can put a resolve date of today. Oh, added a new mailbox. And now it shows green and complete. So that is essentially just a quick overview of what comes with the winter weather outreach solution. So just to recap on this, the winter weather operations solution over here is a more robust solution that requires a Velocity Advanced license. The winter weather outreach solution is a lightweight solution that allows you to communicate road status and plowing priorities to your community. Now, if you have ArcGIS Online, you do have access to a suite of apps that you could use to extend some of these capabilities of the solution. Like you could use Workforce to assign those snow requests to workers in your organization and track that progress. If you have ArcGIS location sharing extension, you could use location sharing through field maps or quick capture to view your truck's current location and tracks, and then you could put those in an operations dashboard where you could filter by username and date time. So just as an example of what location sharing looks like inside of ArcGIS Online, this was some sample data here. This is just me using my iPhone in my car and driving around. So it not too bad on the location. The heading is pretty right on. The speed's a little bit off, but it can show, I mean, it for a phone, it's not bad. It shows me going back and forth up and down the street. And then as this location changes, it shows my current location. So again, that does require the location sharing licensing, but cheaper than the ArcGIS Velocity licensing. So those are just some examples of how you can use tools available to you to build on the existing solutions.